Hi there, Jeep owners. Today in your 2017 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install eTrailer's SD tow bar for Blue Ox base plates. And this is what our tow bar looks like when it's installed. You can see the ends don't have the traditional eTrailer ends on it. It comes with ones designed to connect directly to Blue Ox base plates, and these also work with Curt base plates as well. They use the same 3-lug style system. When you receive your tow bar, you will get the ends and all the hardware. You do have to take the end here, slide it on and put the washers in place and then bolt it down. When you bolt this bolt down here, you don't want to bolt it down too tight because we still need this to swivel. You want it to have a little bit of resistance in it. You'll also receive the pins and clips necessary to attach it. And now some additional features that we have on our tow bar here is that it is a non-binding tow bar, and we can see that here with the release levers on each side. And many of the other manufacturers have larger release lever handles, which you would think would make it easier to get them to release, but I've actually found that the style that's on here works very well because you can kind of just take your hand and give it a little bump. And that actually works really good for getting the arm to release here. What this does is once you go to flat tow your vehicle and you start pulling it, the tow bar self-aligning, which will bring your vehicle right behind it, the arms will extend and lock into place. Upon reaching your destination, if you're not parked perfectly straight on level ground, there's a good chance that the pin here is going to be in a bit of a bind. You're not going to have this play in it. That's going to make it really difficult to remove the pins to disconnect your vehicle. By pressing in on the release and popping it from the lock position, it gives it just a little bit of wiggle just like this, and that's usually all you need to be able to get those pins released. Included with your tow bar, you will get safety cables. That's one less thing that you have to remember to purchase for your flat tow setup, and it does have channels on it to keep your cables from dragging down on the pavement. So it's a nice little setup there, giving you a clean look, and that should last longer than many of the other styles that hang down. On the side here we have cable management, where we can slide our coily cables right over it and secure it with the pin, and that'll also again help keep those from dangling down on the pavement. Another unique feature that this tow bar has is that it can work as a drop or a rise straight from the factory. Oftentimes when you're flat towing your vehicle behind your motorhome typically sits higher than your vehicle. Now depending on the motorhome and vehicle combination, that's not always true. The Jeep here sits pretty high, and this particular motorhome actually sits pretty low. We ended up needing a rise to give us a nice level field here, but rather than purchase an additional rise, which in this case we would need either a 2 or a 4 inch to get us close to level as possible, we can use just the tow bar here, because if you look, it has a slight rise to it here, and I did put it in the rise position. When the tow bar comes right out of the box, it's going to be in the drop position because that's the more common scenario, and then this would just be angled down. This part here, if you take these bolts out, you can flip it over to change it between the drop and the rise position. And if we look here as well, this nut, the washer kind of covers it up, but there's a slot there and it does angle, so you can get up to 3 inches of drop or rise out of it depending on the position you've got. You get 1.5 with the bar here by flipping it over, and then you can get an additional 1.5 inches with the tilt feature here. Now these 2 bolts here for the tilt feature come loose when you get your tow bar, so you can make that adjustment. You want to make sure you tighten those down and torque them to the specifications in your instructions. If you need to flip it over to change it from the drop or the rise, you'll also need to remove this large bolt. This one does come properly torqued when you get it, so if you take it loose, just make sure you refer to those instructions to properly torque it once again. eTrailer's SD tow bar has a rating of 6,000 pounds, which is more than enough to pull our Jeep here, and should be more than enough for most compact vehicles and a lot of SUVs out there. If you have a truck that you're wanting to pull, you may want to consider a larger tow bar with a higher rating. When you're not using your tow bar, you can leave it right here on the back of your motorhome. It has a storage position, which we've got it in now, and if we look, there's a little tab right here, and this is what holds it in the storage position. It's locked in the position now. If I lift up on the arm, you can see the pin is no longer locked in, and then I can twist it to bring my arm out, so now I can go ahead and connect. There's one on each side, so you could store it on either side. You could put one arm off to one side, one on the other, but if you put them both on the same side like we had it here, this will allow you to use a storage bag, which will keep your tow bar protected from the elements, and it also helps store all your cables and your wiring and stuff to keep that from bouncing down on the road. When you're ready to hook up your tow bar, we'll bring the end over towards our base plate. The 3 lugs will mesh with our base plate. We can then take our pin here and we can slide it through. You can go whichever way you like. I usually prefer to go outside in. And then we'll secure it with the pin on the other side. We'll hook up the other arm the same way. You'll then want to hook your safety chains up. They snap right into your base plate. And then if you have any other components that is part of your flat tow setup, which most likely you will have, you'll want to hook those up as well, and that typically includes your diode wiring and your supplemental braking system's breakaway cable. And that completes our installation of eTrailer's SD tow bar for Blue Ox base plates on our 2017 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.